Hey guys, welcome to another video from the Parrot Bros. Now today we're here in my office, as you can see, got the computer behind me. Now as you have seen on the channel, the last video I posted, I got some new wheels for the Noggy TT, some white compy looking ones with a nice flat surface that looked like they needed some decals. Now of course I have a vinyl cutter, which means I am dangerous to make stickers. I have got loads of designs behind me. I'll show you through those in a minute. I'll also show you how we cut the vinyl and weed it and all the boring stuff, and fitting as well. That's the bit I'm not so great at. I don't expect you to love all these designs. I will enjoy any feedback, good or bad. I don't care. I'm a big boy. I can take it. But before we get stuck into it, let's roll to the intro. Hey guys, so as you can see here, I've got a few designs. I've been messing around with different things. Now, what I've found in the past is on sort of comp wheels, people have things like the word motorsport. They'll also use some graphics of either the brand of the vehicle or the brand of the wheel and all that kind of stuff. I've been messing around with different colours, different ideas, as you can see, hopefully going this way round. And then I started playing with my logo font and then spreading it out a bit, so just so it matches the thickness of this arrow. Now I've gone to start with just two colours, one colour, just black, because the wheels are white, the car's blue. I think red will look weird, but I'm open for trying things. So the white and the grey box, the white is the outside edge of where I can use, and the grey is the inside edge of where I can use. So this white space here is what I can use. Now, I've been messing around. You can see I've obviously tried different things. I didn't really like this Audi logo because it just looks weird having this finishing. Same here. And then I thought, oh, it looks a bit odd on there. So then I started coming across to this one. Now this is kind of where I've finished up, and this is what we're going to be printing today. So this obviously takes some doing. All going to be in black. So we'll end up removing the grey and the white boxes. So we'll just be left with that. I did try all this, but it just looks dead weird and stretched and stuff. So let's head upstairs and we'll get this printed and I'll show you the process. Okay, so now we're in my loft, which is an ideal working place because my missus hates spiders and she is pretty sure that all the spiders in the whole world live in our loft, so never comes up here, which means I can have cool toys like this vinyl cutter, and she doesn't care, which is great. So what I've got is I've got a laptop behind me. I've got all the details loaded up onto the laptop. Hit print. This will start cutting it out, and then once we're done, we can move over to the weeding station. We'll get it all weeded out, and then we'll head down and stick it onto the car. Oh man, am I excited. Now, of course, I have to print two one way and two the other, because otherwise on the passenger side, the wheels will be going backwards, so that arrow won't work. But I've already got that one covered. Right, so let's get cutting. Okay, so it's finished cutting. Now this is arguably either the most annoying part or the most satisfying. It depends how you look at it. Now, I've printed the graphics in two halves because to stick it all on in one big circle will be an absolute nightmare unless you are a professional, which I am definitely not. So we'll start by just weeding these out. Now, it's a case of all it will do is pull off everything that it hasn't cut. Now, I've tried to make some extra lines to make it easier to weed because, believe me, it is a pain when there's multiple letters. Now I've got one of each way round on each sheet. I'm going to do two sheets. I'll probably do three actually, because I'll probably mess it up at least once. And then all we got to do is weed this out. Now this is the same for all the Parrot Bros stickers that you order and use on your windows. And it's just a case of, it's already cut what I want. So I just have to weed it out and then take all the little centre bits out, which is quite satisfying, but when you're doing loads of little intricate things, is an absolute nightmare. But I mean, that just took, I think, like 5 or 6 minutes to cut, so not bad at all. And then give me a couple of seconds and I'll show you the finished product, because it's very cool. I mean, if you're into sort of making things and designing things, I think the vinyl cut was about £200 or £300. You can buy smaller ones. That one's a 2-foot one, so that'll do massive decals because, well, you never know when you want to do some decals, do you? So yeah, go look, there's the Parrot Bros already done, and then the top ones are actually quite easy to pull out. Now you'll learn as you design stuff, you'll learn better ways and not to use sharp edges and things like that, because often you tend to then pull out bits and it doesn't go very well, because vinyl cutters don't like sharp edges. If you're using cheapish vinyl, which I would say it's budget vinyl, it's not the most expensive, it's probably about £3 or £4 a metre, so it's not horrendous, but you can spend £20 or £30, which you don't really want to if you're just going to use it for silly things like I am, sticking on windows and whatever. But it does cut differently, and you always have to check the depth of your needle, and there's quite a few things into it, but you get the idea. So that's one wheel completely done. All I'm going to do is trim these into sections and then put a clear acetate tape over it, just to make it sticky. You can use a masking tape one, which is probably better because it's less sticky, which makes it easier to get the writing off, but you can't see what you're taping it to. So when you're fitting it onto the car, it can be a little bit of a nightmare. So that's why I use the clear and just suffer it a little bit. I'll finish getting these done and we'll get to stick them on the car. Let's head down there. Okay, so now comes the fun / nerve-wracking part. Now what I've done is given the face a clean. Now I use a glass cleaner because it's got like a isopropyl kind of alcohol in that will take off any contaminants and make it nice and fresh. You can just use a good cleaner. You don't really want any waxes on there because it will make the sticker peel at a later date. Now I've trimmed these as best I could to leave a little bit of overlap, because then what we can do is it will allow you to sort of put the sticker on and get a feel for whether it's in the right place, because I've got a gap at the top and at the bottom here, and you want to try and get it kind of equal. So that's not great. What I'm trying to do is use the top as my guide, so the distance from the top of the letter to the outside is the same, because then if that's the same, then the internal will be similar. Is that about right? I am only eyeing this because, well, I can print more, so it's all good fun. You can measure it, and once you're done, if you're happy, get your spatula, give it a... doesn't decide to peel off. Oh no, it's made it worse. I made it worse. I made it worse. Oh no. This is why I say I'm not very good at the sticker part, because this is the hardest part. Making them, easy. So, like I say, give it a rub on, because then what that does is allow the letters to come off a little bit easier. Still not right. That's it. Is that it? That's better. Okay, now we're there. Now we're getting somewhere. So, give that a good press on, and then what you can do is whichever side's got the most sticky on, you can pull it back and leave it on, and then what it will allow you to do is peel all the letters off, like so. And now you see why I've trimmed the clear stuff a bit better, because obviously you don't want it sticking to everything. And then all you've got to do is just work this round, as simple as that. Like I said, there's not too much method in this. Good press down. You don't want obviously any too small a letter, because if they're too small, they're likely to have little bits, and then the little bits will come out. So that's why I've gone for quite a large, tall letter. There's one. Right, now let's do the bigger one, which is going to be more fun, which I'm less looking forward to. And the idea is not to stick these together like I have. There we go. Okay, same principle again. With these, if you're not sure, it's always good to sort of stand back and have a look, eye up, maybe spin the wheels, whichever you want to do. But like I said, I'm going for the gap here, so this needs to come over a bit, if anything. Because what I've done is I've made these perfectly cylindrical, so they are... I've used this inner edge and this outer edge to make two circles, and then I've made it perfectly circular in the middle. Now that is definitely a better gap between there and there. I'm happy with that. Right, this just allows the black to stick to the clear a bit better, so then when you pull it off, you stand slightly more of a chance. Now, I've got a rogue bit of plastic that's come from the upstairs. So, now comes the fun part. Now with a bigger one, it's probably easier to put a little bit on at a time before you peel it all. Because to be fair, once it's hit the wheel, it's staying on there. So you will have to use a new sticker if you mess it up, unless you do it wet. And then you do it wet, it doesn't seem to stick as well, and it takes a while to dry. Oh man, this looks so good! I can't wait to stand back and look at this. Oh yeah, right. Let me move the camera. So there you have it. These are the wheel stickers. I'll give you a pan back because I've actually cheated and already done the rear one because I wanted to see what it looked like and made sure I was happy. But they are, I think they're brilliant. They're different. Do you know what I mean? No one else is going to have the Parrot Bros on their wheels. I just want to share with you that I have messed up as well, and I've only just noticed. The wheel doesn't go that way around, it goes that way around, so I need to take that off again. This is why you don't film and do jobs at the same time. Oh, I knew I was going to do it. I knew I was going to do it. So I will rectify this and take some pictures, but let me know what you think. Do you love them? Do you hate them? I can take it either way. Let us know down in the comments. Anything you do differently, because the likelihood is I'll probably change these at a later date. I'm definitely going to be changing this one in about 5 minutes because obviously it's the wrong way around. But until the next time, guys, bye for now.